which Maryland defeated Marist. Here's Harris along the baseline, and the bounce pass cross court taken away by McClellan. And the former Golden Hurricane comes up the floor like a hurricane and puts it through.
We talked about it. You have to get in front of McClellan because he can go wire to wire. You have to meet him at a point of attack and get him to turn that way, straight line to the basket.
McClellan, like Cotton, averaging 20 a game this season. Right wing three from Cotton, that off the back rim, not shy about shooting in the early minutes. And a foul underneath, and it will be going back the other end. We've got a good one so far, folks. It's 7 for Providence, 7 for Vanderbilt. Stick with us here on CBS Sports Network.
Medical services for the Ezybonds Global Payments, U.S. First Rounders, Paradise Gym, provided by Comprehensive Orthopedic Global. Today's medical staff representative is Tommy Sims.
Steve Alford, and they had a great season, although they're upset in the tournament.
And all but 2 of the champions since this tournament came into being for the men in 2001 have advanced to the NCAA tournament. Of course, New Mexico didn't have a fun time last year with Harvard in their first game of the NCAAs. See how this one shapes up. 7-7 is the score. Siakam, the Cameroonian, in the lane, operating, falling down, but he traveled.
Now Chris Dunn still on the bench. Oh, here he comes. He's entering the game right now. That'll move Cotton to that 2-guard spot.
Fortune will yield, and Dunn comes in. Dunn, as we talked about, had 8 assists in his first game. That was against Butler. 21 minutes, missed the first couple of games with a shoulder injury, which cost him 9 games to start the season last year.
Chris Dunn is a high-energy person as they post inside the left-hander. Tyler Harris, 6'9". You see him along the three-point line quite a bit. Little set play here as they block-to-block screen. Harris able to complete at the line now, the three-point play.
Harris, the native of Dix Hills, New York, transferred from NC State. And Carson DeRosia coming in, and he'll take out Kadeem Batts. Harris, whose brother Tobias played at Tennessee and was drafted by Charlotte Bobcats, now plays with the Orlando Magic. Can't convert on the free throw, and it's 9-7 Providence.
And DeRosia, the transfer from Wake Forest, gives another big man as McClellan drains that ball away.
McClellan, such a huge key, especially after Kedron Johnson was the leading scorer last year, and the starting point guard for Kevin Stallings was suspended for violating university policy for the entire season. That, coupled with the departure of Kevin Bright, kind of changed things up for the Commodores this season. Here's Harris to Cotton, 10 on the shot clock. Poked away in the backcourt. It's picked up by Dejon Parker and put through.
Really great play by Dejon Parker. Stuck his mitts in there. Cotton a little loose with the basketball. Both these squads do an excellent job of floor spacing. Get the ball to the weak side. This is what we call the second side.
Harris uncorks the three. No, battle among the big men. DeRosa and Josh Henderson for Vanderbilt. It's out of bounds, and it will stay in possession of Providence, but Dejon Parker with a big defensive play, Kevin.
Well, Cotton gets a little loose with it. It's difficult to reach in because of the new rules, but Dejon Parker, excellent steal, converts it to an easy 2 points for Vanderbilt.
Chris Dunn, sophomore from New London, Connecticut, inbounding, and Henton will give back, and here's Dunn running the point for the first time today.
Double high screen.
Dunn will pull up for three, and that's off the back rim. And a steal in the backcourt and an easy hoop for Harris.
A great awareness by Harris. Jumped the passing lane. He's getting easy two, just as we saw Parker do it for Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt averaging 13 turnovers a game, a high amount. Seeking to turn around here. They're 2 games in, and they're 2-1.
19 turnovers in their loss at Butler. That's something Kevin Stallings wanted to clean up.
Oh, and DeRosa thought he had a clean block. Instead, it will give 2 free throws to Rod Odom.
And Ed Cooley wanted to make Odom a driver. Watch this, boy, just snuck in there. Great move by Tyler Harris.
Harris pulled a Dejon Parker right there. And Odom to the line, and it's off the back rim. Odom 4-for-7 on the season. Dante Henton will come out, bats back in. And DeRosa, as we mentioned, the Wake Forest transfer from Windham, New Hampshire. Had a couple of years for the Demon Deacons. Second free throw is good, and it makes it a 12-11 score in favor of the Commodores out of the SEC.
A little of a three-quarter court pressure to use some time off the clock by Vanderbilt. They're a long team. They can do some pressing.
There's Dunn giving it out to Cotton for three, and that rolls out. Rebound underneath taken by Vanderbilt, and it's Luke Cornett. Down the floor storming Fuller, who's back in, and his pass tipped away, but Cornett is an interesting story for Vanderbilt. He's grown 10 inches since the end of high school. He was not given a scholarship up until April of his senior year. He grew 8 inches over the course of that span, and then 2 inches once he came onto campus, and now clocks in at 7 feet tall.
Well, Kevin Stallings said when he come into practice, they look at him, they think he's grown a quarter inch since yesterday's practice. His father, Frank, was a great player for Vandy back in 86 through 89.
Played with the Milwaukee Bucks for a couple of years too. Cotton out for the first time today, and Josh Fortune replacing him.
Luke Cornett has 3-point range also at 7'1". Nice stroke.
And McClellan has it with Fuller, Cornett, Henderson, and Odom as the 5 for the Commodores in the white. The outlet to Odom for three, and he cans it.
Ed Cooley will not be happy with that. He wanted to make Odom a driver. Get to him. They said you have to shade him closer, make him bounce, don't let him spot up and splash in the 3-ball.
And trying to match his Harris, and it's flagged down by Odom, but Vanderbilt comes in at 42% from long range. They can hit him, and they have. Here's McClellan.
Well, they're very good offensively shooting the basketball. They have to clean up their turnovers, become more efficient.
Cornett rises and fires. DeRosa battling with his own teammate. Nearly took it away from Batts. And nearly turned it over as a process. And here's Dunn.
And Dunn is a point guard who would rather pass than shoot, but we see some zone action here from Vanderbilt.
Here's Harris, matchup with Fuller. Dunn thinking about the three.
And not a bad move with Cotton on the bench to show a little zone.
Odom with 7 on the clock, shoots and scores.
Batts is extremely effective from that mid-range. That 17-footer, he is deadly.
The Batts cancels in the 2 and makes it a 15-13 Vanderbilt score. Here's McClellan. Wide open is Cornett. Both teams not being shy about shooting the three in the early goings. 11:49 to go in the first half. Dunn to Fortune, and a foul call. 15-13, Vanderbilt on top with 11:42 to go in the first half. The University of the Virgin Islands Sports and Fitness Center, home to the Paradise Jam. Coming back on the CBS Sports Network.
Come visit my island, the United States Virgin Islands.
Discover how life is meant to be. Call your travel agent today.
Spectacular views of the Caribbean are just the beginning at Frenchman's Reef and Morningstar Marriott Beach Resort. Discover a place where turquoise waters meet clear blue skies, where fine dining and poolside bars delightfully coexist, where fun and relaxation are an art form. A Marriott Dream Vacation awaits you here on the island of St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands. It's all here at Frenchman's Reef and Morningstar Marriott Beach Resort.
Welcome to Belongo Bay Beach Resort, St. Thomas, the Caribbean's most entertaining beach resort. Experience the Caribbean's most entertaining beach resort, Belongo Bay Beach Resort, St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. No passport required.
UVI is closer than you think.
At UVI, the beach is closer than you think.
At UVI, the professors are closer than you think.
At UVI, your success is closer than you think.
The University of the Virgin Islands is closer than you think. Call us today or visit.
15-13 is the score in favor of Vanderbilt. But Kevin, we've seen a lot of three-pointer shots so far, 11 between the two teams.
And Vanderbilt has come out on fire, 6 for 9 overall. They've used that side ball screen and some pick and pops to get some good looks for Odom. You've got McClellan 2 for 2 and Siakiam also 2 for 2.
Only the second ever meeting between these two teams. Providence lost to Vanderbilt 72-66 back in a tournament in 1998. Surprising, seeing the profile of these two conferences, but as it is, it's the first meeting in 15 years. Over on the far side, Fuller going up on DeRozan, putting it in.
Well, Providence wanted to ice those ball screens and not let the man come over. That time Fuller turns back, does not use the ball screen, just a free lane to the basket for an easy 2.
Henton and Dunn exchanging possession, along with Cotton, DeRozan, and Batts. They're 5 for the Friars. Picked to finish 6th in the preseason Big East poll. On the right wing, the 3 rolls out. Tough break. And Vanderbilt running the break on the opposite side with McClellan on the left wing.
Well, the zone's been very effective for Vanderbilt. They've moved Hinton to the Providence has moved him out to the 3 spot.
The shot not there for Vanderbilt. And up the floor, Dunn finding Batts in stride, but he can't hang on.
May have injured his ankle as he tried to make the catch.
Let's check it out again. Dunn had a well-placed pass.
That ankle just slid on the court, and that's very painful. Batts not able to catch and convert that left ankle. Ouch. Just walking it off there. I think he's good to go. We'll see if Vanderbilt tries to attack him.
Backdoor cut, and McClellan goes up, denied by DeRozan twice on the play. Here comes Dunn down the lane, gives it off to Batts, puts it up, can't get it to go. But the defense by DeRozan, who is currently leading the Big East in blocks, and now he's got 13 on the season.
DeRozan has really made his presence felt as he come off the bench. He gave a huge lift. Good time, he gets a piece of it, stays in there, blocks it, keeps it inbounds to his teammate. Now Batts trying to convert at the other end at the free throw line.
Those two ACC transfers between DeRosa and Harris, huge. Providence this season, and the score there on the free throw by Batts. Batts came in 11 for 12. Now this is one key for Providence. They come into tonight the Big East best free throw shooting team, over 82%. That's got to make Ed Cooley happy. It's not there in the second go around, however, and it is 17-14. The Commodores by 3.
Another ball screen on the side, but McClellan refuses.
Another 3 in the key. It's the second time we've seen that call against Vanderbilt tonight.
Well, Vanderbilt has that ball screen on the strong side, and they have a postman ducking in on the weak side, waiting for that ball to come back around where he already owns some real estate, but twice charged with a 3-second violation on that play. Vanderbilt having some success with the zone. Cotton cannot get loose on the baseline.
In the paint, and it's Batts going to the hoop, can't get it to go, and he'll get right back to the foul line on the foul against Vanderbilt. And that will go again, so it'll be the second foul on Damian Jones.
Look for Batts to be very effective right below the free throw line in that zone. There's always a hole in the zone below the free throw line. Batts, an excellent shooter in that 12 to 17 foot range.
You see what Batts has done this season, and when he had that most improved player year last year, put up similar numbers, just under 15 points per game, about 7 rebounds per game. Providence still unable to draw any closer. Odom checks back in, as does Henderson for Vanderbilt. You know, the Friars at 4-0, trying to go to 5-0 for the first time since Rick Barnes coached the team during the 90-91 season. A long time since the Friars have enjoyed this good a start. They trail by 2 to Vanderbilt.
And of course, Rick Barnes at the University of Texas coaching the Longhorns now.
Having trouble with the entry, Henderson. Here's Siakam, drives around, Batts, goes up but can't get it to go on the dunk. And DeRosa may have gotten a piece.
DeRosa's made his presence felt. Siakam tries to do a little one-on-one as that side is cleared out.
And we got another 3 seconds.
That is 3 in one game, and we are just over 10 minutes into this game. I've not seen that many 3-second goals. And we do have the trapezoid lane here.
Yeah. And that's the real old school international rules. They don't have that anymore in international rules. The lane is very similar to that of the NBA.
And obviously these officials are not calling them 3 seconds in the trapezoid area of it, but it is painted that way on the floor.
Here's Siakam getting inside among the trees, and Siakam puts it in.
Siakam doing it right to the rim. Established position, set call in transition by Kevin Stallings.
Providence basketball, Bryce Cotton, just the 5th ever Friar to lead the Big East in scoring, first since Marshawn Brooks.
Vanderbilt had great success in the zone. Now they've gone back to man.
Under 9 minutes to go in the first half. Cotton will hand off. Henton back to DeRosa. The 3 off the back rim. Providence has shot that 3 a lot tonight, but they have not made too many. It's the 1 make so far. Here's Fuller, senior from Moreno Valley, California. Fuller, the mid-range jumper, and it's no good from 12. DeRosa grabs the offensive rebound, and a fresh 35 for the Commodores.
Side-to-side ball movement, get some penetration.
Fuller, the reverse, sent away by DeRosa.
DeRosa has really been a presence inside defensively. Makes a great read, hands up high. Makes an attempt to keep it in bounds. Foot in the chest there. And Fuller as he goes down.
Dropped off nicely to McClellan. He can't get it to go. With the long arms of McClellan, he knocks it out of bounds.
And Ed Cooley not happy because that is a play they have had on the scouting report. Vanderbilt likes to go right back to the inbounder if you zone their OB underplays. Cotton has been very quiet in this first half. McClellan is just locked on. the number 11.
Here's Cotton, the dribble drive. He kicks it out on the wing, and the shot is drilled by Henton.
Long dry spell for Providence and a much needed drink of water as Hinton drills that three.
McClellan, the Austin, Texas native, roams over to the left side. Matched up with Fortune. Turnaround jump hook for Henderson, crawls off the rim. Bats the rebound. Here's a long three from Fortune, and that rolls out, and Henderson and Vanderbilt trying to pick up the pace now. Down the lane goes McClellan for the deuce.
That's what McClellan does. Wire to wire, fast as any player in America. You have got to meet him early and get him to change direction, and he will explode right to the rim.
Commodore ball, or make it Providence basketball, and it's tipped away on the pass off by Cotton, and Siakam has it. The Tulsa transfer, McClellan to Fuller. The runner off glass, and that goes through.
And that play was made because of McClellan's ability to go in with speed. The entire defense from Providence tried to get in front of him and open up Fuller for the drive.
Harris, after a very eventful pass off. And Cotton getting his cues from Ed Cooley over on the far sideline. Earlier this year was Big East Player of the Week after dropping 28 in the season opener, a win in overtime against Boston College. One-time Big East member, now ACC. Shot off the back rim, that won't go for Bats. Under 6 minutes to go, it's a 5-point game in Vanderbilt's favor. Here's Siakam, and he traveled. And it will lead to a break in the action. Siakam turns it over for the Commodores, who have led for much of the first half of play. Vanderbilt 23, Providence 18. Back with more action. CBS Sports.
We're at the 2013 Paradise Jam. In 14 years here on St. Thomas, we've done a lot of awesome things, but never something like this.
This is the water jetpack, new here to St. Thomas. Anyone who's ever dreamt of flying, ever wanted to learn how to fly, this is about as close as it gets. On an introductory flight, you're going to be porpoising like a dolphin, you're going to be running on the water, and of course flying high like Buzz Lightyear. So those are kind of the three things you're going to be doing in an introductory flight.
Perfect. Right arm up, right arm up, right arm up a little, right arm up. There you go. Just like that. That's exactly where I want you. Right there. Very nice. Oh, you're ready to fly. What I want you to do now is slowly bring your arms up till just your feet are in the water. And now that you're there, just start walking with those legs. You're walking on water. Okay, so all you got to do to go underwater is you're going to bring both hands down into the water. When you're ready to come back up, bring both hands back up. Very nice. Very nice.
People who have ever gone parasailing or jet skiing, anything like that, this can be completely different. This is the newest adventure basically here in St. Thomas. So you guys actually have this great deal of flying at $100 at discounted price all the way up until November 30th. So just mention Paradise Jam and we'll definitely give you guys that rate.
That definitely was one of the craziest things I've ever done, Mark. Thanks for letting me come out and fly with you. Looks like I earned some.
And that's why point blank shots is Siakam is 3 out of 4.
The redshirt junior who made only one start a season ago, taking advantage. 18 points, 13 boards against Lipscomb for his first career double-double. Now let's go down to Monica Jonigan.
Thanks, guys. Coming out of that timeout, Coach Stalling telling his team in the huddle he was very pleased with the last 4 minutes of production, but he said we got to stay strong on defense and keep rebounding. That was the focus of the huddle there, guys.
Thanks, Monica. Stallings, as mentioned, just recently become the all-time wins leader at Vanderbilt with 279 now in his career, 15th season. Cotton almost went up. Harris feeds it underneath. Henton under pressure. And it looks like Providence is going to be called for a foul. It's going to be Kadeem Bass.
This is a long Vanderbilt team. They're in that zone with the big wings. Odom at 6'9", Henderson inside, 6'11", taking up a lot of space, and has really gave Providence some challenges trying to find open shots.
Nearly thrown away by Odom. Here's Henderson, who will move it back out. Just over 5 minutes to go. Commodores with the ball, shooting 48%, but turning it over as Henderson now gives it away for the 8th turnover of the half.
Well, that's been the problem for Vanderbilt. They come in shooting the ball 52% from the field, but they have turned the ball over way too many times for Coach Stalling. Pick and roll.
You see the
open
turnover,
inside.
See the turnover situation. 8 for Vanderbilt, 6 for Providence. Head fake Cotton. Henton. Nice pass whipped by Dunn. Harris to the move. On the move to the hoop. No. And Parker is thrown down by Harris. That'll be the 5th foul on Providence.
Vanderbilt has the same sky report against Harris that the Providence has against Odom. Make him a dribbler. Do not give him a standstill jumper. Harris tries to drive in there, has gotten himself in trouble a couple times, not able to finish off the drive for the sophomore Tyler Harris.
Vanderbilt basketball, 17 losses a season ago when they went 16-17, most losses since the 2002-2003 season.
Well, that run 3 years in a row were NCAA tournaments. McClellan.
Nice move by the transfer, the first-year Commodore. Makes it a 25-18 score. Now Dunn on the other end.
Those two guys are tremendous wire-to-wire speed as Dunn takes it right to the rack.
Well, you and I saw Dunn at practice yesterday, Kevin, and he took one dribble and made it to the hoop, blew by all the defenders in his way.
We're in a little 1-4 set. We're hoping to see that here in the first half.
And contact underneath, just as we expected, a very physical first half. And once again, the foul going to be called on Vanderbilt, Shelby Moats. Well, look at Dunn driving down the lane, Kevin.
This little change of direction and shifts into high gear as Dunn finishes. And we mentioned he's been out with a bad shoulder, dislocated his shoulder. So this is only his 2nd game back. Still a little rust on Chris Dunn's game, but great passing by that young man.
16 of the 25 points for Vanderbilt. Points in the paint so far. 3:50 to go. Cotton. Try to slip it inside at DeRoja. There's Dunn taking on all comers.
You can see his confidence just begins to grow. You see in the first game had a number of assists, but didn't shoot it well. But finding the range and the ability to slice and dice through the defense.
Odom will rise from 3, and that one rattles home.
Well, you get caught watching the paint dry in that play. A little close the gate. Odom came through the double screen. We watched him work on that in practice. Odom a 3 at the top of the key.
Wow, Odom came in with a 57% three-point shooting percentage. Yeah, that will work.
And 6'9", again, like Jake Lehman we saw in the game from Maryland. Hard to get to that jump shot.
Kind of in the story in this tournament, a lot of guys, you look at their size playing different positions than you would normally expect.
Makes tough matchups for you on defense.
There's Moats will fire the 3, and he has it rattle out, but Odom tracks down the rebound.
Well, Vanderbilt has run that side screen and roll about 80% of their possessions, and Providence has struggled to defend it.
McClellan working a little clock here as he roams to the right. Henderson a step inside the 3-point arc, and he holds up the follow through. 30-22, Vanderbilt opening up an 8-point lead.
And what did it start with? Side pick and roll. As Henderson, little pick and pop action for the big man.
On the opposite side, Cotton can't get the 3 to go, and reeling it in is Dejon Parker from the foul line, and Moats will back it out. One dribble underneath the jump hook for Odom. That's not there. Odom a 16-point per game average coming in.
Cotton 1 for 7 for Providence. He has to get untracked. for Friars to be successful.
Takeaway from McClellan, lobs it up into the air, put up, and a foul will be called. Dunn trying to defend Odom, and it will send Vanderbilt to the line for 2 free throws, all expenses paid. 30-22, Vanderbilt on top in the Ezybonds Paradise Jam here on CBS Sports Network. Back with you, Vanderbilt by 8 at the Ezybonds Paradise Jam 2013 edition. Remember, tomorrow's conversations start tonight. Get the latest word in sports on Leadoff with Doug Gottlieb and guest host Tony Luffman tonight at midnight Eastern, only on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Well, Vanderbilt leading right now over Providence College 30-22. You see Kevin Stallings in the middle of your screen. We mentioned his prowess on the coaching sidelines. Interesting story. Just a few years ago, he picked up the guitar and was taught the guitar by Tom Ledden. Now, if the last name sounds familiar, Tom's brother Bernie was a founding member of the Eagles. Now, Bernie lives in Nashville, which is where Vanderbilt is located, but it's kind of a little interesting thing. And he says, Kevin Stallings says, well, his favorite song to play is, no surprise, Tequila Sunrise, an Eagles song.
Right in the heart of Music City.
Yep.
Kevin Stallings cut his teeth playing for Gene Cady at Purdue.
The free throw by Odom is good, and let's send it now to Monica Jonigan.
Guys, Coach Cooley in the huddle telling his guys to calm down. You're fine, but they're killing us in transition. They have got to get up and down the floor. And on offense, he's really looking for them to pound the ball down low and get some easy scores, guys.
Thanks, Monica. One thing I love about Ed Cooley, Kevin, you'll appreciate this too, having spoken with him, is he doesn't mince words. He shoots straight from the hip right there.
And he kept telling me, I really like my team, as see Fortune knock that in.
Fortune getting on the board. And it's 31-24, Vanderbilt by 7. And the weave up top to Parker. And there's Moats. Vanderbilt ball doing a lot of their work tonight in the paint, which is where Henderson fakes out the defender DeRoja, but the tip not there for Odom. And Henderson had DeRoja going the wrong way.
Odom came flying in unchecked, but not able to convert. Cotton very quiet in this game.
Fortune for 3 short. And it's not fallen for the Friars tonight.
Well, the Friars are shooting the ball a little quick. You can see Vanderbilt a little side to side, but they were trying to get a 2-for-1 on that possession, as there is a 12-second difference from the shot clock and the game clock.
And a timeout will be utilized by the Commodores, but this is the first of 2 big SEC games for Providence. In just a few weeks' time, they got Kentucky coming up. And that certainly will be an interesting test as well for Ed Cooley's team, taking on Julius Randle.
Imagine the power of a giant TV production truck in a compact portable video production system. NewTek TriCaster has everything you need for a network-style video production. Camera switching, graphics, special effects, virtual sets, and more. You can stream your production live to the internet. and record up to 8 separate channels of HD video all in one system. NewTek TriCaster. It's a television studio in a box. Find out more.
All gone. UConn, Rutgers, Cincy, South Florida all disappear. The new entrants, as you know, Xavier Butler and Creighton joining the conference. It's now a 10-team league. It's going to be very much a different Big East when those conference games start going in January.
Yeah, Creighton picked 3rd in that league, and surprisingly, this Providence team was picked 6th. I think that's a little low, but it's a very talented squad that Ed Cooley has, and now they're going to show a little zone here. We mentioned 12-second difference in the shot clock. Vanderbilt's going to wind it down.
It's Kyle Fuller who goes into the corner. Whipped underneath perfectly to Odom, who's denied. Underneath, and Providence with the defense. LaDante Hinton, the junkyard dog with the rejection.
Oh, nice set play by Vanderbilt against the zone, but denied by Providence.
Let's check out the replay here. 3 blocks for Providence in this game. The latest by Hinton.
When they overloaded that side, brought Odom underneath on a little screen. Hinton was blocked, but then he recovers and makes the stop.
Defense right there, Providence. That's what Coach Cooley said coming into the tournament. Our season's going to hinge on the defense. And in the early going, his team has allowed only 61 points per game. But right now, their offense kind of stuttering at only 24 points through this first half of play against Vanderbilt, which one of their question marks was the 78 points per game and the 44% shooting they had allowed through the first 3 games this season.
Their zone has been very effective with lots of length, and of course they have kept Cotton under control throughout this first half. Cotton just 1 for 7 and 1 for 6 from the 3-point line.
Dunn will run the point, operating just inside midcourt with 10 seconds to go. Jump pass on the blocks, going up, no, but Batts getting himself back to the line.
Well, Providence answers with almost a similar play against the zone where they're going to screen one of those baseline defenders in, run a cutter in from behind. Now Batts able to get to the free throw line and get some points out of this one, where Vanderbilt was denied by the great block by Hinton.
Josh Henderson getting his first foul. Well, Batts also earning Big East honorable mention with the season he had last season. 31-25 is the count.
Now with 4.4 seconds, now remember McLennan can go wire to wire, so let's see if they deny him the inbounds pass.
Batts with 7 points, 5 boards tonight, came in with 3 double-doubles in his last 4 games. So a couple of substitutions. Dejon Parker in for Vanderbilt.
That's to stop the clock so they can double McLennan so he does not get a touch. Good move by Ed Cooley with 4 seconds left.
And it's inbounded to Henderson. Lee Goldsboro in for Providence. And Henderson will launch a 3 at the buzzer, but it's off the glass from about 35 feet out, and that's how the first half comes to an end. Vanderbilt 31, Providence 26. And in the first half of play, 43% shooting for the Commodores. Providence 2 of 50.
We're at the 2013 Paradise Jam. In 14 years here on St. Thomas, we've done a lot of awesome things, but never something like this.
This is the water jetpack, new here to St. Thomas. Anyone who's ever dreamt of flying, ever wanted to learn how to fly, this is about as close as it gets. On an introductory flight, you're going to be porpoising like a dolphin, you're going to be running on the water, and of course flying high like Buzz Lightyear. So those are kind of the 3 things you're going to be doing in an introductory flight.
Perfect. Right arm up, right arm up, right arm up a little, right arm up. There you go. Just like that. That's exactly where I want you. Right there. Very nice. Oh, you're ready to fly. What I want you to do now is slowly bring your arms up till just your feet are in the water. And now that you're there, just start walking with those legs. You're walking on water. Okay, so all you got to do to go underwater is you're going to bring both hands down into the water. When you're ready to come back up, bring both hands back up. Very nice. Very nice.
People who have ever gone parasailing or jet skiing, anything like that, this is going to be completely different. This is the newest adventure basically here in St. Thomas. So you guys actually have this great deal of flying at $100 at discounted price all the way up until November 30th. So just mention Paradise Jam and we'll definitely give you guys that rate.
That definitely was one of the craziest things I've ever done, Mark. Thanks for letting me come out and fly with you. Looks like I earned some wings.
You have definitely earned your jetpack wings, so you're a natural. Come back again soon.
All right, all you Paradise Jammers, come out and check out the St. Thomas Jet Riders.
Welcome to the Paradise Jam. Each November, I like to take my Paradise Jam family down to the one and only golf course on St. Thomas, Mahogany Run. Let's head down to the first tee.
Mahogany Run, it being the only golf course on the island, designed by two world-famous golf course architects, Tom Fazio and his dad, George, have some really unique and exciting holes. We have the Devil's Triangle, which is maybe three of the most beautiful holes in golf, looking over the Atlantic and the Caribbean Ocean. Holes where you're hitting, 125 to 150 yards from tee boxes to over the ocean onto a small tee complex. Everybody finds the course. It's challenging, forgiving in areas, and truly unforgiving in certain areas. I mean, obviously you can tell who the basketball players are. They're a little taller than most of the island people, but it's wonderful for the course. It's wonderful for the economy down here. It's wonderful for Mahogany Run to have people like that down here doing something for the community down here, and being able to host them at our golf course is really, it's a pleasure to have them down here.
During the Paradise Jam, not only can you enjoy spectacular views like this, but for the right price, you can own a beautiful villa out here at Botany Bay.
We're out here today at Villa Witta, which is a $25 million property that spans over 15,000 square feet of usable space. It's on 4 acres on a waterfront lot, and it's inside the Botany Bay Preserve, which is managed by the Timbers Resorts based out of Carbondale, Colorado. They picked the nicest 400 acres on the island. It overlooks the Mermaid's Chair, the west end of the island, and out over to Culebra, Puerto Rico, and the Spanish Virgin Islands. The entire home is based around the lifestyle that a pirate would probably enjoy. It certainly shows it in the collection of artifacts. It's sort of a modern-day pirate, has this fortress where he keeps all the bounty that he's collected, and I think that's really how the owner looks at it. Also, the quality here, the workmanship inside, it's second to none, absolutely no expense spared. There's a lot of antiques and original artifacts. There's actual treasure chests that were recovered from pirate ships, original cannons, and several 17th century antiques. There's actually a chandelier from a Russian opera house in here that was disassembled and reassembled here. And obviously the location is incredible. It's probably one of the best home sites in the Caribbean. It has to be experienced to be believed. It's really more of like a fairy tale type atmosphere than anything I've ever seen. The U.S. Virgin Islands is uniquely set up for people to take advantage of the tax benefits. There's no state or local taxes other than federal taxes for residents. Anybody who resides here gets to take advantage of that, and the price points are all across the board from $300,000 to $25 million. There's pretty much something for everybody. Give us a call at USVI Sotheby's International Realty. We'd be happy to help you online, or sotheby'srealtyusvi.com is our website.
Welcome to the United States Virgin Islands. We know you'll enjoy your stay in one of the most beautiful places in the Caribbean. We invite you to visit all 3 islands: St. Croix, St. John, and St. Thomas. St. Croix offers some of the most incredible dive sites in the Caribbean. Explore the pier, a shipwreck, the wall, and even go on a night dive. And with 7 flags having flown over this Caribbean jewel, St. Croix offers one of the most diverse cultures in all of the Caribbean. Want to hike, swim, and explore an underwater trail and an incredible vista all in the same day? Then you can't miss St. John. With 2/3 of the island dedicated as a national park, it's easy to find a view that takes your breath away. St. Thomas offers some of the best shopping deals in the Caribbean, and the U.S. Virgin Islands duty-free limit is $1,600, so be sure to take advantage of the savings. If a romantic destination wedding is in your future, plan your hassle-free nuptials in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Don't forget to let your guests know that there's no passport required for U.S. citizens. For more information on the USVI, log on to visitusvi.com or download our free My Virgin Islands smartphone app to learn more about things to do, restaurants, shops, and much more. Explore the endless unscripted vacation opportunities that await you. Thank you for visiting the United States Virgin Islands, St. Croix, St. John, and St. Thomas.
As you can see, don't you love technology? Yeah, no problem. There we go. How are the girls? Uh-huh.
Come on, boy, just a little.
Scott.
Business is tough, but with great offers at Avis.com, we give you the space to turn your business trip into a bizcation. Avis, it's your space.
We are World Vision, and we believe in children. We believe in God's calling to share our lives with them, to share a meal, to share water, to share love, to share a full life.
If you believe, share with a child today at worldvision.org/share.
Virgin Islands Paradise Jam, where the Vanderbilt Commodores have a 31-26 lead over the Providence Friars. One big part of that Vanderbilt team is transfer Eric McClellan. He made the big leap from Tulsa to the SEC. We had an opportunity to sit down with the transfer student and find out how it's going. Take a look.
Well, the transition from Tulsa to Vandy has been a pleasant one. When I first got to Vandy, it was tough for me just because of the physicality, the speed of the game and things like that. The talent level was much better, but my teammates have been doing a great job of pushing me and getting me better. the confidence that my teammates have in me and the staff has in me is tremendous. It's a blessing to be in this opportunity where you know, I could just play basketball, you know, and continue to learn from my teammates, continue to learn from my staff, and it's been comfortable for me. When I was going through the whole transferring process, I sat down with my mom, you know, my brothers, my sisters, and you know, I asked them, what should I do? And you know, the love and support from those guys is something that I need. Well, their support is major. It's big for me, coming from Austin, Texas, where you know, I didn't have a lot growing up, and you know, basketball-wise, I didn't have a lot there either. But those are the ones that believe in me the most, you know, and I have little brothers and little sisters that look up to me, and I try to set a good example for them for down the road. This is a great experience for me. This is a great opportunity for me and my teammates to bond with each other, get better, continue to learn, and compete at a high level.
McClellan with the left goes right out Wood to the top.
Well, being at Vanderbilt, it opens a lot of doors for you. You know, the professors there are genuine. The environment you're just around, you're just around a bunch of people that, you know, really care about you and really love you, and the support system is definitely there. Well, last year I wasn't playing last year, but we were a young group, an immature group, and you know, there were times when we'd have the lead, but 3 minutes left in the game, we'll blow the lead and end up losing the game. And this year is all about staying connected. You know, this is a resilient group, and we're tough, and we work hard and we fight. So that's pretty much our approach to every game.
Vanderbilt, McClellan all the way to the hoop, got it, and the foul.
Well, at Tulsa, I was a freshman, and you know, there were times where after practice or after games, I'll go back to my room and I'll just soak, and you know, I'll question myself, I'll begin to doubt myself and things like that. But it's more now, you know, I've never worked this hard in my life. So, you know, if I don't play well, it's because of me. You know, I don't make any excuses. I just continue to learn, continue to work, and you know, whatever happens, happens, and everything happens for a reason, and that's where my faith comes from.
And McClellan has 8 points in this game, with Vanderbilt leading 31-26. We'll be right back with more of the U.S. Virgin Islands Paradise Jam on CBS Sports Network.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Ezybonds Paradise Jam alongside Kevin Lehman, Danny Lee with you. Glad you could join us. And it's been a first half, Kevin, where we have seen not only what Kevin Stallings called his best defensive performance of the season from the Commodores, but they've also asserted themselves inside.
Oh, they've done some damage inside. 16 out of 31 points have been in the paint, and the damage has been done by James Siakam as he goes early and scores over his left shoulder, fights for the rebound, turns that loose change into 2 points, and watch this early offense with his feet, gets in there, establishes position, and scores easily. And the other problem has McClellan in the open court with that speed as he goes, and then he comes over the screen and pops in the 3-ball. They overplay him, takes advantage, back door cut, and scores for Elliot McClellan.
And then Providence as well, trying to do their own work side.
They certainly have. And here's some great heads-up play by Tyler Harris. And then they get a real spark off the bench by Chris Dunn as he comes in and kisses one off the glass.
Well, looking at the stats, we mentioned the rebounding, 22 to 15, but look at the three-point shooting for the Providence Friars. 2 of 15, a lot of turnovers, but as we talked about, Commodores 16 points in the paint, and keep in mind how well they played defensively. Vanderbilt was a team coming in at the bottom of the SEC in scoring defense and field goal percentage defense, and last in steals, but we'll see if they can carry over what we saw in the first half. The Commodores will get the ball to start this second period of play.
The Friars have to get Bryce Cotton involved in the offense. The leading scorer from the Big East last season is just 1 for 7 and 3 points.
Oh, Jones underneath and with authority puts it down.
The freshman started the first half but then sat. But Kevin Stallings going back to the big freshman set play. Easy basket.
Jones had 19 points, went 7 for 8 in his debut in the victory over Georgia State. And we've got a foul underneath.
That on Jones, and immediately Henderson into the lineup.
And you see Jones' power underneath, and here it is on full display.
No answer for that by the Friars.
So he plans to major in electrical engineering at Vanderbilt. On the other side, talk about electric. Tyler Harris has been it. Knocking down the 3.
That is the first one of the game for Tyler Harris as he has scored in other ways, but very dangerous weapon. 6'9" left-hander can rise up and knock it down from the arc.
Along the baseline, Henderson the turnaround.
Henderson comes right in. They get 2 quick points, or 2 quick baskets, 4 points total in the paint again from Henderson as he comes in for Damian Jones, who scores in the first possession.
Fortune drives the lane, fortunately, has Cotton over on the wing. He'll use the bat screen, then make his way to the hoop. The floater won't go. And wrestling for the rebound, Siakam can't get it, and he'll stay in possession of the Providence College Friars.
You can see frustration on the face of Bryce Cotton as he is now 1 for 8. He cannot get a basketball. The size of Vanderbilt has really given Bryce Cotton some issues.
Harris drops it off. Henton can't get it to go. And the rebound knocked away. Back to Harris, who loses it. And it will go back to the Commodores. Providence not very fortunate in the shooting end of things. Only 34% from the floor.
They battled, but they're really out of sync at the offensive end. I think a lot of that has to do with Bryce Cotton. They're used to getting points out of it. Is struggling. They're trying to find other ways to score from other players.
Over in the blocks, Henderson has already surpassed his scoring average on the season. The jump hook, and why not go for more? He's got 6 in the game.
Danny, great point. He has been very aggressive in this game. Henderson did not get the start. They started the freshman, Damon Jones, but Josh Henderson has answered the bell as he's come in relief.
There's Cotton rising for 3, and still the struggles for Cotton continue in this game. He's 1 for 8.
Dejon Parker has locked on the Cotton, has not given him any space, has a little height advantage. You say Cotton listed at 6'1", more like 5'11".
McClellan fouled up top, and a push is going to be called against Josh Fortune. Checking out Josh Henderson, the redshirt junior from Roanoke, Virginia, but some nice moves in the paint.
Oh, that's a tough shot. You cannot defend it. A little bit of the Kareem Jabbar skyhook by Henderson.
Here's McClellan, and his entry pass, not a good one, taken by Henton. Here's Providence running the break. Henton all the way and puts it in, and will draw the foul.
Well, they play Hinton at that 4 spot. But he has the ball skills of a perimeter player, so he's able to take that basketball and go all the way down, right down Main Street. Left-handers, always hard to guard.
That's the 6'6" Henton getting to the line.
And Hinton put his shoulder to the larger, taller Henderson, trace the contact, able to get the traditional three-point play.
Henton at over 17 points, just under 10 rebounds per game coming into tonight. And it's a 5-point score in Vanderbilt's favor. Here comes McClellan, a surge of speed, but is fouled again, and Fortune is having a tough time staying with McClellan.
You've got to meet him. We said at the point of attack, start giving some ground because of the explosive speed from McClellan. And you get the feeling this game now, Providence has not played very well offensively, but they're still within 5 points. So that is a good sign for Providence. I haven't seen any really good flow at the offensive end by the Friars.
Parker got it from Vanderbilt. Back to McClellan, but no, Chris Dunn gets in the way. He'll give it off, and Cotton lays it up and puts it through as well.
And only the second field goal of the game by Cotton, and that made by Chris Dunn. Ed Cooley said Chris Dunn is the best defender in the Big East.
You see those long arms, and they can get in the way of the passing lanes. Straight away, Odom fires a 24-footer, and he rattles it home.
And we've seen that play before by Odom, where they set that double screen. He sneaks through. He kind of lulls his man to sleep, and now we have a stoppage in the action.
Got a little bit of a shootout at the USVI Corral right here. 40-34, Vanderbilt on top of Providence.
Cotton able to get on the scoreboard, but it starts with a great steal by Chris Dunn, gets the 2-on-1, and there's the delivery by Dunn to Cotton.
Corner, three-pointer not there for Henton. And there's Siakam on the baseline. Over on the opposite side, here comes Vanderbilt. Dejon Parker. McClellan inside the arc, and he'll bury it.
Ed Cooley needs a timeout after that when McClellan refused to screen and got that little 19-footer.
The Tulsa transfer is the first player of the night into double figures. Vanderbilt 42. Providence 34. Back with more after this. It's a college football triple-header on CBS Sports Network Saturday. Colorado State travels to Utah State at 3:30 Eastern Time, followed by Tulsa and Louisiana Tech at 7 Eastern. And finally, it's Boise State at San Diego State at 10:30 Eastern Time, presented by Pep Boys, only on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. And we now send it down to Monica Jonigan.
Fired up in that timeout. He slammed his chair down and told his team they're getting open shot after open shot after open shot, and we are not taking advantage of it. He admonished his team for playing without the passion necessary, and he's expecting them to come out and get fired up on both ends of the court, guys.
Well, you know, Ed Cooley has no problems in getting fired up. We saw that at practice. Here's Harris. The reverse, the putback, that goes, and Harris gets the bucket to go to make it a 6-point game in Vanderbilt's favor.
Vanderbilt shooting 50% from the field. That is what Ed Cooley is unhappy about. Just 3 for 7 from the three-point line. They really focus on that, but they've given up some inside scoring.
Odom can't get the 18-footer to go. The long rebound to Cotton, having trouble with the ball. Here's Harris, down the lane, drops it off the bat, rejected by Henderson.
Providence, they've only 3 of 16 from three-point line. They've got to go inside more as they just did that last one. But
Henderson, wow, on the jump hook and a 3-point play opportunity. And don't tell him he can't score. 8 points and a chance to creep closer to his career high. Vanderbilt continuing to pour it on, courtesy of Josh Henderson. Back with more from the Paradise Jam. Back to play at the U.S. Virgin Islands Paradise Jam, brought to you by Ezybonds here on CBS Sports Network. Well, Kevin, when we came into the game, Josh Henderson had scored all of 11 points in the first 3 games. He's got 10 points tonight, and we've only played 25 minutes, excuse me, so far.
Great production from those post players for Kevin Stallings as Henderson with 8 points as he came off the bench. Of course, Damon Jones gave him a big lift also. And Ed Cooley's got to solve this inside-outside game of Vanderbilt. They've really pressured up the three-point line, but they're giving up a lot inside. Henderson really showed he can score with that jump hook.
It's only the 3rd time at the line for Henderson, but he hits the 2nd in 3 attempts, and he's only 2 points shy of his career high in scoring. Unlikely hero for Vanderbilt, up by 9, 15 minutes to go. Providence 4-0 on the season, now facing the zone. And it's taken away by Vandy again, continuing that defensive prowess.
Well, Dajon Parker has been very quiet, but very effective for Vanderbilt, especially at the defensive end. He is locked on to Bryce Cotton.
Leading the break is Cotton. Nice pass to put it in. That was Henton to Cotton.
Sometimes that run out helps get a player like Cotton, who's been struggling, gets him untracked.
Here's McClellan, who transferred from Tulsa after Danny Manning took the job with the Golden Hurricane. Here's Henderson again, the wonder kid. And a push in the back. This is what we talk about with the rules emphasis now in college basketball about the contact in the post, the hands in the back. And let's check it out again. That last play, Henton to Cotton. Check this out.
Well, Hinton picks up the loose ball, and Cotton, great speed, just outruns the defense, gets an easy 2.
Siakam, the native of Douala, Cameroon, to Odom, who sinks the 3.
Odom squares his feet and shoulders up, as good as any player I've seen this season. And at 6'9", you cannot get there to contest his shot. He is having an excellent game for the Commodores.
Odom sensational. He came in 57% three-point shooting. He's 4 of 4 from three-point tonight.
And Ed Cooley said, well, you have to chase him off the three-point line. Make him a driver.
There's the runner by Dunn. No, DeRosa can't hang on, and nothing going right for the Friars right now.
Friars 38% from the field. They've really struggled to get quality looks at the basket. Great defense by Vanderbilt. And the Friars playing the zone. They have to deal with those ball screens. They keep McClellan on one side, but he goes underneath the basket.
Underneath McClellan, the athletic move.
Dejan Parker has made every small play. He's done a great job defensively. He's delivered the basketball on point, has not turned it over. Very impressed by his play.
There's Cotton against this zone. Dunn slips it off to Harris. The jump hook, nope. And the rebound sealed off by Siakam. McClellan lob ahead to guess who? Henderson again.
And Ed Cooley has seen enough as Henderson outruns his big man down the court.
Now Josh Henderson now 13 points to tie his career high. Set last season when he did it 3 separate times. And Vanderbilt all of a sudden opening up a 14-point lead, Kevin. Certainly something that Providence did not see coming based on the way they started this season and based on what we saw about Vanderbilt's defense in the first 3 games this year.
Vanderbilt really struggled at Butler. As we said, they were down, but showed some moxie in a comeback to get that game into overtime as they were playing in Indianapolis. But I did not expect this either from either of these teams. This is a great defense. There's McClellan, finds a gap in the zone. Or Odom, and there's Parker delivering to McClellan. Well, as I said again, Dejan Parker has just played extremely well, and Henderson just outruns the defense. That forced Ed Cooley to call a timeout, and I don't think he was very happy.
50-38 the count, or 52-38 the count in favor of Vanderbilt right now. 10-2 run for Vandy. Let's see if Providence can answer, and they turn it over yet again. And then Providence answers in kind. And Dunn loses it.
Providence has really struggled from the arc, so they're trying to get the ball inside that zone, and they've had problems because of the length of Vanderbilt to find passing lanes to the interior of the zone defense.
The winner of this game will be back in action on Sunday here in CBS Sports Network, taking on the winner of the game coming up. Morgan State still looking for their first win against LaSalle. And now a takeaway for Dunn, and this will be an easy 2. They'll dunk it in. A sophomore from New London, Connecticut.
Excellent instincts as he read the passing lane, faked like he was going to go with his man, and then back out, tipped it loose. Maybe the spark that Providence needs to get back in this game.
Cotton on the opposite side of the floor. Across midcourt to Odom.
The ball movement by Vanderbilt has been excellent. Their spacing goes from side to side. Ball movement and player movement. Difficult to guard.
Parker around the rub by Henderson. Parker in the lane. Floats, fires, and scores.
Again, Dejan Parker's been quiet, but he has had a great floor game. Starting to score a little bit now for Vanderbilt. He really looks like the general on the floor for this Vanderbilt team. He's directing traffic at the defensive end, making great plays and great decisions.
Over in the corner, here's Fortune. Up, under, and denied by Fournette.
Vanderbilt, the two bigs in now, Cornett and Henderson.
Fuller around the screen, drops it off, and now he's blocked from behind by Henson. Cotton rises, and that won't go off the back rim. Put back by Dunn, no. Cotton trying to save it. Picked up by Dunn, goes up, and it's a herky-jerky exchange right there with Henderson grabbing the rebound. And they're just playing out there, folks. Fuller goes up, and in the face of DeRosa. And Dunn is down holding his shoulder, and that's not a good sign for Providence.
No, dislocated that shoulder after having it injured in surgery a year ago.
Plenty to be concerned about for Ed Cooley's Providence Friars. They're down 16, and Chris Dunn down and holding his shoulder again. Back with more, including an update when we return here at the Paradise Jam on CBS Sports Network. Welcome back, hopefully to alleviate some of the concerns for Providence. Chris Dunn standing, and looks like he's good to go, but right now Providence has their own set of troubles on the scoreboard, down by 16, Kevin, as Vanderbilt has taken that defensive first half we saw and has carried it over here into the second frame.
And their offense has been extremely efficient. 11 of 14 here in the second half for 78% by Kevin Stallings' squad. They have been flawless at the offensive end.
Providence on the floor with Henton, Cotton, DeRosa, Harris, and in the opposite corner, there's Harris, and Fortune is the other of the five for Providence, and a foul against Vanderbilt, and it will be going against Cornett. First on Cornett.
Yeah, DeRosa trying to get some early post offense. Cornett trying to hold his real estate, called for a foul. Providence has not had an answer from this zone. They are 3 of 17, just 18% from beyond the arc.
Fortune off the side of the backboard, only 34% overall. To make things worse, here's Fuller.
Well, when they've driven in the paint, they have run into a wall of length by the Vanderbilt postman, whether it's been Henderson, Jones, or Cornett.
Shelby Moats back out on the floor for Vanderbilt. Odom, Cornett, Fuller, and McClellan round out their 5. Under 10 minutes to go, there's Fuller. Gives it back out. No one wants to shoot here for Vandy.
It's been great spacing. They have passed up some easy shots.
McClellan goes into the teeth of the beast, and DeRosa knocks it away. In stride, Harris on Cornett. And a good body block. And the frustration evident for Providence. See, Harris wanted that shot to go, but it just won't go down for him.
And late whistle. There's a few of the fans that are happy as Harris body control. Thought it was down, pops out, but now at the free throw line.
Harris, who during his season transferring from NC State, where he had to sit out a year, misses the free throw, attended the LeBron James and Kevin Durant Skills Academy, certainly paying off. So there's Chris Dunn back in, a good sign for Vanderbilt, or for Providence rather. And back to the line goes Harris.
Got done with surgery on his shoulder in July of 2012, then re-injured, dislocated November 2nd against Rhode Island in an exhibition game. So when he goes down and holds his shoulder, the Providence fans and coaching staff hold their breath.
Fuller drives the paint, goes up on Batts, and is going to be called for a charge. I'm going to say he drove his shoulder right into the chest of Batts. Probably don't see as much anymore.
Another emphasis, maybe he used his forearm to clear some space because they're really watching at the offensive player. Watch his right forearm. Yep, shoved him out. Offensive charge, you'll see that in a charge call more than you will see the block charge where the defensive player stays on the floor.
In the corner, Cotton, foot on the line, still cannot get it to go. But Cotton has had a forgettable night, 3 of 13.
And he's had to rush all his shots. He's had a larger person in his face. He's trouble getting squared up. He's not had any good looks.
Came in shooting 44%. Parker open for 3 off the curl. Nope, DeRosa the rebound. And here's Dunn trying to run the break. Providence down 15. Dunn comes through and draws the foul.
We see some similarities in the game of Dunn and McClellan as they both have excellent speed. Dunn just shifts into another gear.
And we saw with Dunn at practice, he let him take that first step, and he's off to the races.
Yeah, this young man who hasn't played for a number of weeks other than his game the last time that the Friars played, so he's got a little rust in his game. They're trying to work him back into it slowly. He'll be an excellent player for the Friars this season in the Big East.
He was in camp with the U19 team for the World's Championships in 2013. Makes both free throws, making it a 13-point game. And now pressure in the backcourt by the Friars.
So the Friars down 13. They've got to get something happening in this game because they have not been able to guard Vanderbilt in the half court. They tried some zone, they tried some man. The execution by Vanderbilt has been excellent at the offensive end.
Odom runs out of room at the foul line. To McClellan, will set up shop. Jump pass, Henderson, head fake, bumped by Batts. That'll be the 5th foul on Providence.
McClellan draws so much attention on these ball screens. He's dragging 2 defenders with him. That's left Henderson open a number of times and some other players, but all kind of keys off.
30 feet from the hoop, he grabs the rebound, and that's going to hurt Providence that much more as they have to work through another 35-second clock.
Well, Ed Cooley just looked away as that loose ball rebound went back to Vanderbilt, gives him another opportunity.
Well, Providence is certainly a team that works well with adversity. Remember, they were 2-7 in the Big East last year before they went 7-2 in their final 9. Second best ever turnaround in the Big East. Underneath, it's Bancroft going to the hoop, and he'll now get 2 foul shots. So Vanderbilt hanging on to an 11-point lead, but the Friars will have an opportunity after the break to cut that down even more. 6:34 to go at the Paradise Jam. The Friars trailing, needing more plays like these. Back with more on the CBS Sports Network. Yeah, they're all having fun here at the University of the Virgin Islands Sports and Fitness Center. Danny Lee, Kevin Lehman, Monica Jonigan with you. You know, one interesting footnote to this, Vanderbilt hitting a 3 tonight. An interesting note that we came across going into this game, Kevin, they have now hit a three-pointer in 869 consecutive games. Only they, UNLV, and Princeton are the only teams to have hit a 3 in every single game since the three-point line was introduced in college basketball. What is it now, 27 years ago?
27 years, yes, 86th season. That is an amazing stat. And Danny, you're the only guy I know that would know that stat. Providence has to be able to make some consecutive stops defensively to get back in this game. Multiple stops. Ed Cooley talked about that with his defense, that you have to be able to bear down and make those stops. They've got it down to 10, a chance to get to single digits with 6:34 left.
At Bancroft, all his points have come at the line. He is 3 of 4 at the line this season. He actually grew up next door to Dave Gavitz, who's obviously a guy that's well known in Providence lore. Big East commissioner and was the head coach of the Providence Friars from 1969 through 79. In the corner, head fake, Odom. Mid-post jumper does not go, and a chance for Providence again, now down 10. Here's Cotton leading the charge. Dunn in the corner, three-pointer, DeRosa long.
Bancroft gets his own rebound, another opportunity.
Here's Harris. And that goes through, and look out, here come the Friars. A timeout is called. It's a 7-point game.
Stallings not happy with his defensive effort because you got to take away the 3 ball. But that was made by Bancroft. Missed his shot from the corner, chased down his own miss, gives another opportunity. See Bancroft comes up the loose ball, a little spark off the bench, down penetration and kick. Tyler Harris splashes it through corner pocket.
And Bancroft was a guy who was a walk-on, earned a scholarship with the team, now getting minutes in this very crucial of stretches in this contest. With Cotton struggling, Harris has helped pick up the slack, 5 for 11, 12 points.
Just what Ed Cooley was looking for. He needs somebody to give his team a spark, and number 22, Bancroft, provided it. See if they can get the flame burning a little brighter as they had to come out of the zone. Now you're going to see some full court pressure by the Friars.
You see it right on your screen, a 9-0 run to turn a 16-point game into 7, and now Vanderbilt turning it over again. Parker's inbounded ball, and McClellan steps on the line, an errant pass. And all of a sudden, the sense of urgency for Kevin Stallings' team.
And momentum is swinging a little bit. Let's see if the Friars can take advantage of it as Vanderbilt stays in that zone, hands up high.
Cotton in the corner, Henton for 3, no. Rebound, DeRosa grabs it, puts it up, draws the foul, and will get to the line, looking to pull Providence to within 4.
Carson DeRosa just worked the backside. Smart move, go to the weak side. The ball shot out of the corner. You know it's gonna come over the rim. He fights for position, goes inside, scores the basket. Now an opportunity to get this game down to 4 points.
A great time for DeRosa to get his first 2 of the game. At 6 rebounds, playing tough underneath.
Now can Vanderbilt answer this pressure?
The run's now 12-0 for Providence. Pressure in the backcourt. Odom in trouble, calling for a timeout. Boy, this game has turned in a hurry, Kevin.
Vanderbilt had control here in the whole second half. Started off on fire, but Ed Cooley goes to his bench to a walk-on under scholarship, made a huge play to turn this game around. There's the trap. Gets the timeout before the 5-second call.
And you see exactly what Providence is doing, trapping Odom in the corner. forcing Vanderbilt to burn a timeout. And there's the defense that Providence was hoping to play in the beginning, but better late than never, as they say.
And I have to correct myself. There is no 5-second call in the backcourt, but there is the 10-second call. Another new rule. You will not see the officials counting on the 10-second. They're going to look at the shot clock and go by that this season.
Points off turnovers, that's been a crucial stat for Providence, scoring 20 points off of 15 Vanderbilt turnovers.
Dunn and Cotton, pressure up front.
Ball inbounded by Siakam. He has it in the backcourt to Fuller. And now they disperse with 5:20 to go.
Kevin Stallings brings Fuller in the game to give himself another ball handler.
Odom underneath. Here's Jones. Damian Jones, the jump hook not there. Chasing after the rebound is Dunn. Wrestles it away. Vanderbilt, can they get another one? Cotton, yes!
He's been quiet most of the game, but Bryce Cotton comes up huge from the Providence team, and this allows Providence to stay in the zone because they've been able to close the gap so quickly.
It's like the Dunkin' Donuts Center in here with the amount of Providence folks now standing and cheering. 15-0 run, Jones. And it'll be back to Providence, and look at this, a chance to perhaps take the lead in a game that looked like it was turning into a Vanderbilt rout. No field goals for the Commodores in over 6 minutes of this one.
Kevin Stallings trying to settle his team down. Now you have to do it at the defense end. We talked about Ed Cooley and his team have to make defensive stops. They've done that. Now Vanderbilt has to make a stop.
Listen to the crowd here in the Virgin Islands. Henton for three. No, rolls off. And it's a one-point game. Vanderbilt basketball, and this one's turning into the gem that we expected it to be.
Well, Hinton with a good look, but you would have think, let's keep attacking the interior of Vanderbilt's defense and force the officials to make calls. Providence staying in the zone. They've had some great ball movement here by Vanderbilt. It gets a little tighter now as this game gets tighter.
Here's Jones trying to power it home, but he's fouled going up. And DeRosa whistled for the contact. Well, we've got an exciting one for you, folks. Don't miss the finish. 3:53 to go. Moments ago it was a 16-point game, just a one-point game here on the CBS Sports Network. Vanderbilt leading by just a point. You know, the Virgin Islands, Kevin, was once a haven for pirates. Providence talking about plundering. They're about to plunder back the lead.
And Chris Dunn leading the charge as he's making some great plays. Delivers one to Harris, and now a little more dribble penetration and finds Harris again in the deep corner. DeRocha just goes to work inside. Great rebound position, completes a three-point play. And again, Dunn delivering to Bryce Cotton, who's been quiet most of this game, but coming to life when the Friars need him most.
Friars trying to keep their unblemished start to the season alive and trying to go 5-0 for the first time since the 90-91 campaign. They'll be heading to the opposite foul line, though. Free throws coming for Vanderbilt. Yeah, no field goals in the last 6:48. Last field goal for Vanderbilt was at 10:41, a layup by Fuller. And since then, they have gone dry.
And Jones just a 58% free throw shooter this season. The freshman from big ones.
Women averaging 12, has only 3 points. Misses the free throw, and now we'll go down to Monica Jonigan. What do you have, Monica?
Guys, we heard McClellan talk about it at the half, blowing a lead. Coach Stalling telling his team in the huddle, it's not going to be easy. Do not expect it to be easy. Expect them to play man-to-man defense going forward. He's looking for them to rebound and pick up the intensity and keep this lead. Guys.
Thanks, Monica. Just got a little harder for Vanderbilt, missing 2 crucial free throws.
Yeah, the freshman. Jones not able to convert, and now the Friars with an opportunity to take the lead.
Vanderbilt led by 16 at 56-40. They've not scored since. Here's Dunn, 8 on the shot clock. Drops it off to Cotton. The Big East leading scorer from a year ago does it again.
A little weave outside to get a mismatch, and Cotton finds the gap and rings up the Cotton.
A 17-0 push from Providence. How does Vanderbilt answer here with only 3 minutes to go?
Well, Jones working inside. He was open, looking for the lob.
On the wing, Odom's got the answer in the form of 3.
Odom has been outstanding today. 4 of 5 from the arc, 14 points.
Providence basketball now down again. Dunn to the cup, gives it up to DeRocha, who throws it down with love from Windham, New Hampshire.
Well, Ed Cooley talked about the infectious personality of Chris Dunn, and he has made play after play in this comeback for the Providence Friars.
Odom again, pulls the trigger but can't get it to go. Battle for the boards goes to Dunn. 2 minutes and change to go.
Dunn looking to the sideline to Ed Cooley for direction.
DeRocha out of options, goes to Henton. And Cotton will reshuffle the deck. Cotton off the screen, he's got Henton. In the corner, the drive to the hoop, and it goes.
Great misdirection play by Providence. Screen up top, brought it back to the weak side, open up a driving lane for Hinton. He takes advantage, the left-hander on the left side of the court.
The 21-3 run continues for Providence. Takeaway by Dunn, it's off of the track meet, has McClellan beat and puts it in.
Ed Cooley told me he was the best defender in the Big East. And he might be right after that huge steal and conversion.
McClellan on his way to the hoop, puts it up, loses the handle on it. It's a scrum, Odom for 3, no. And Henton has it, and with under a minute to go, Providence trying to take away what seemed like an improbable victory just about 10 minutes ago.
And Hinton, you called him the junkyard dog. He worked for that rebound, and now the Friars a chance to work the clock down.
Cotton a step inside midcourt. Defense by Parker, blows by Parker. 8 on the shot clock, here's Harris. Cotton the move to the hoop, off glass, put up and in by Henton.
Hinton made huge plays at both ends of the court for the Friars, and Stallings now needs the timeout.
Timeout Vanderbilt, Providence 65, Vanderbilt 59, 21 and a half seconds to go. And what was a game in favor of Vanderbilt 56-40, a 25-3 run. Let's take a look at tonight's brilliant play of the game, brought to you by Marriott Frenchman's Reef. Marriott is making travel more brilliant, one idea at a time. And Kevin, well, look at this. The Harris 3 all started it.
It did it. Harris with 15 points. Dunn delivers. Harris with an open look off that loose ball rebound. Corner pocket splashes the twine. But it all started with Bancroft. The walk-on got his own missed shot. Gave Providence an extra possession. And Harris makes Vanderbilt pay.
And remember, in the first half when they were 2 of 15 from three-point range, they've only shot 6 threes in the second half. They've made 3 of those 6, but they've gone to the basket so often. You can see Kevin Stallings, certainly a different complexion, a different face than we saw in the first half. It's a 5-point game.
Cotton, not the guy you want to put the free throw line, a 89% shooter.
As we talked about, this is where Providence has excelled, one of the areas, 82% coming into the game. Number 1 among all the Big East teams entering play. Ted Bancroft will re-enter for DeRosa.
As Ed Cooley's going to go with a smaller defensive lineup to take away the 3 ball. Cotton with a chance to make this a 3-possession game.
Vanderbilt still with a pair of timeouts in this game. Cotton nails the free throw. He makes 1 more, and it's a 3-possession game. Cotton, one of 4 in double figures. He now has 14 points tonight.
And some pressure by Providence. Eat some time off the clock.
Siakam has it.
Keep the ball out of 3-point shooters.
Fuller shoots the 3, can't get the 3 to go. Ball batted around, out of bounds, and clenching the victory from the jaws of defeat. Ed Cooley's Providence Friars are 3 seconds away from their first 5-0 start since 1990. And that'll do it. Wow, what a stunner. In the Virgin Islands, Vanderbilt was up 56-40. You see the final score, a 27-4 run. And Vanderbilt run right out of the building, Kevin.
Well, what a change of events. And I go back to that timeout by Ed Cooley where he told his team, stick with it, got their confidence back, got their heads up. And Chris Dunn, second game back from that shoulder surgery or shoulder injury. Great performance by that young man. He really sparked